Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And here we all are. Welcome back to the studio. Come on in, sit down. After all, it's your living room. Sit down, put your feet up, relax, and get ready for today's lesson. Do you need to meditate first? Yes? Are you a hippie? Yes? Okay, a few more seconds for all the hippies. The rest of us will wait until you've meditated into Gods of English mode. Are you ready now? Yes? Are you sure? Have you reached level 23 in the Buddha system? Yes? Well, that's fantastic. Well, in that case, what are we waiting for? Let's strike while the iron's hot. Onward into the lesson. Gods of English, assemble! Okay, we're all here now. The gods of English and the hippie gods of English. The ones at level 23 in the Buddha system. Great! Okay, now, on to today's lesson. Now, what were we talking about yesterday? Who remembers? That's right. Of course, you all remember, don't you? Yes, yesterday, at the end of the lesson, we were talking about comparative adjectives again, weren't we? We looked at the rules we use to make comparative adjectives. The regular rules for regular adjectives, ER and IER, and for longer adjectives, more. We also had another quick look, a peek at the irregular adjectives. Do you remember? I'm sure you remember. Chocolate biscuits are good and triple chocolate chip caramel biscuits are better. Syphilis is bad, but AIDS is worse. Okay, moving swiftly on, it's time for us to think about the next step. The step that comes after the comparative form. Do you remember what the next step is? Of course you remember. The next step is the superlative, isn't it? Do you remember what Mr. Sidney Williams said? What do you mean, who's he? Good Gordon Highlanders, you can't have forgotten Mr. Sidney Williams. I can't believe it. Allow me to refresh your memories. Mr. Sidney Williams is a hotel manager? Anything stirring in your memory? No? Okay, let me continue to refresh your memories. Mr. Sidney Williams is the manager of a hotel where one person we know works. Anything now? Any bells ringing? No? I'll continue then. Mr. Sidney Williams is the manager of a hotel where Gordon Taylor works as a receptionist? What? What was that? Who said that? I distinctly heard someone ask, who's Gordon Taylor? Okay. It seems that some of you need extra ginseng to help with your memories. Okay, Gordon Taylor is the son of Joe and Jenny Taylor. Joe and Jenny Taylor have got 3 children. They've got 2 daughters and a son. Their daughters are called Jane and Mary. Their son is called Gordon. Mary is married to Alfredo. Alfredo and Mary have got 4 children. Is that clear? Yes? Good. Okay. Now, Gordon's brother-in-law is called Alfredo. Mary's husband is Gordon's brother-in-law. You must remember this. Alfredo and Gordon got drunk together on New Year's Eve, and Alfredo caught a cold when he fell asleep in the park, walking home. Okay, so the picture's coming together. Good. Okay, now, we also know that Gordon also knows Alfredo's friend Dave. Yes, Dave Squid, the man with a funny name. And Dave Squid has got a girlfriend, Loretta. Now, Loretta's also got a very funny name, hasn't she? That's right, Loretta Sweat. Now, do you remember why Loretta went to the hotel? Which hotel? The Fabuloso Splendido Hotel, of course. That's right. She went to the hotel for a job interview. And who was the interviewer? Correct, a doodle hit the squirrel right smack in the middle of the forehead. The man conducting the interview, the interviewer, was the hotel manager, Mr. Sidney Williams. Great. Now, back to where we started. Now that we've worked out who Mr. Sidney Williams is, do you remember what Mr. Sidney Williams said about Loretta Sweat? Come on, you must remember. That's right. Good. Mr. Williams said that Loretta was the best person for the job, didn't he? Yes, and that's what brings us back to superlatives. Do you remember superlatives? Superlative adjectives are the next step up from comparative adjectives. Superlative adjectives are the adjectives we use to talk about the maximums. The maximums of good, like the best, and the maximums of bad, like the worst. Okay, so let's run through superlatives again. Now, with regular, short adjectives, we made the comparative form by adding ER to the end of the adjective. When we want to make the superlative form from short adjectives, then we put the in front of the adjective and add EST to the end. So, the superlative form for the adjective cheap is the cheapest. And the superlative form for the adjective old is the oldest. Now, just like comparatives, if the adjective ends in vowel plus consonant, then we double the last letter before adding EST. So the comparative form for hot is hotter, and the superlative form is the hottest. If the adjective ends in Y, then, just like with the comparative form, we replace the Y with IEST. So happy becomes happier in the comparative form and the happiest in the superlative form. Good. Now, what about longer adjectives? What do we do there to create the superlative form? Correct, a monkey see, monkey do. When we make the comparative form of longer adjectives, those adjectives with more syllables, then we don't change the adjective, but we put the word more in front of the adjective. This way, we can talk about the fact that Michael Dudikoff is not dangerouser than Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he is more dangerous than Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, to make the superlative form of longer adjectives, we also don't change the adjective, but with the superlative form, we put the most in front of the adjective. So now we can say that Michael Dudikoff is more dangerous than Jean-Claude Van Damme, and we can say that everybody knows that Chuck Norris is the most dangerous man in the universe. Okay, now back to reality. Let's see if we can make the comparative and superlative forms of the following adjectives. Great. Now, what answers did you get? Okay, let's check them all together. Old, older, the oldest. Simple. Good. Big, bigger, the biggest. Again, very good. But did you remember the change in spelling? That's right, chickens. Because the adjective big ends in vowel plus consonant, we have to remember to double the last letter. So, there is one G in big, but in bigger and the biggest, there are two Gs. And the next one? Well, that's very similar. Sad becomes sadder and the saddest. And because of the spelling of the word, we have to double the last letter. Sad has got one D, but sadder and the saddest are two D words. Okay, good. What about the next one? Okay, with tall, what happens? That's right. We don't need to worry about doubling the last letter because tall doesn't end in vowel plus consonant. Plus, any word with three L's would look really silly. So tall becomes taller and the tallest. Next, long. Again, we don't double anything. Long doesn't end in vowel plus consonant. So long becomes longer and the longest. Great, we're on fire. Just like the crazy world of Arthur Brown.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
Okay, calm down, Arthur. Right, back to the adjectives. What's next? Ugly! Aha! Another adjective which ends with a Y, so we have to change the Y ending. And ugly becomes uglier and the ugliest. Good. Next, expensive. Another longer adjective. More syllables, so we change expensive to more expensive and the most expensive. Fantastic. And now, the two irregular adjectives, good and bad. Do you remember what's bad and what's worse? Yes, that's right. So good changes to better and the best, and bad changes to worse and the worst. And now, a very appropriate word to finish the exercise. Impressive. Your work is very impressive. And impressive in the comparative form is... That's right, more impressive. And in the superlative form? That's right again, the most impressive. You gods of English are the most impressive gods I know. And now the time has come, and now we face the final curtain. Yes, it's that time again. The time when old Blue Eyes has to leave the stage. Yes, unfortunately, we're out of time. That's all the time we have for today's lesson. But never mind. Before you know it, we'll be back here together. You on that side of the TV screen, and me and the crew stuck inside your television. So, until we meet again tomorrow afternoon, I'll say bye for now. I'm Gav Duncan, and you've been watching me on M5's English-speaking program, Let's Speak English. Don't forget to check out www.m5tv.hu to find all our videos and more. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm younger than Chuck Norris, and I'm taller than Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye.